become involved. It's not just a male-dominated story. And we have a clothing of the period made in boys and girls sizes that somebody from the class gets to wear and talk about how it would have been like to, what it would have been like to live on a ranchero.
It changed the way I teach. It made me realize that children, especially minority children who don't have a lot of experience with English language, need the hands-on, need to touch, feel, see to learn.
I come to you, I'm a park ranger, a national park ranger with the Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area.
The one child that I was very, very fearful could not use self-control, just reacted beautifully. He was so excited to be part of the program, to experience the materials, that it helped his behavior, and I know it really supported his learning.
Le ayudara a vestirse. And we have a helmet for Christian. Well, there you go. Go ahead and walk around the class, Christian.
What we saw today was an experience, a physical experience for the children. It was in 2 languages, both of which the children understood. One they listened, and the other they could use for reinforcement if they needed.
I need another volunteer. I need a girl this time. This one's a little fancier than the other one, right? Yeah, so let's go ahead and put this on over your head there. So they still sometimes wear clothing like this. Todavía se visten así en países como Guatemala. Sometimes if your family was rich or wealthy, you could afford to buy clothing off of the ship.
Every child brings their own experience to the classroom. Most of the experiences are not the same.
Su cinta y su chaquete.
So we need something to bring them together. And that's what hands-on or reality will do. It brings them to a meeting place. We don't have to really speak the same language. We can just share the same experience.
Educators are constantly seeking ways to add a little sparkle to their lessons.
I think they're looking for additional resources. Teachers today are strapped financially. Many school systems don't have the money to spend, and any kind of resources that they can draw upon to excite the kids about learning, and that's certainly a role that the parks can fill. Thanks for coming down. I'd like to pass these out. If you all could just take a look at these new study guides.
It's a finished product.
Yeah, this is the finished product, exactly. Okay, you all have in your hands a copy of the study guide, but the packet itself consists of these 3 items. The film on John Brown, To Do Battle in the Land, the study guide that you are taking a look at now, and also the publication on John Brown's raid. One of the things that we really were insistent upon in the development of this study guide is that it be interdisciplinary. It wasn't to be just a history lesson. How do you envision it being used in your classroom?
As far as application in the classroom, the base is very broad. I see that you got religion, you've got government, economics is there, music, the writing assignments over the controversy, all very broad.
And as a curriculum coordinator, I think that this is a very important learning tool.
How will it be distributed?
All the 8th grade teachers in Jefferson County will get a copy as part of our partnership agreement, and then other schools across the country can purchase it from the Harpers Ferry Historical Association. Park interpreters can help teachers in a variety of ways. We can kind of learn the jargon so we can communicate effectively with them. We can learn the curriculum so that we can interface our programs with them. Advertise our programs so that they know what we indeed have to offer.
Marketing is a very important thing because it doesn't do much good to have a fine product if you can't get it out to your public. And of course, initially we're marketing it in our bookstore, which is located in the Visitor Center, the first place that the people come when they come down into the lower town in the park. Teachers who come to the park see our video and ask about our video pack and want to buy it.
The Arch, a familiar sight in St. Louis, is also the setting for some exciting educational activities. They are conducted by the staff of the Jefferson National Expansion Historical Association, a nonprofit cooperating association which supports educational and interpretive activities. In collaboration with area educators, an imaginative program was developed including both trips to the museum and school visits by park interpreters. At the museum, children reenact the Overland Trail experience.
where are you headed for, first of all? Oregon? What part of Oregon? You gonna go up this trail? You got enough strong men here to be able to pull all that stuff off?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it really enhances our curriculum in social studies because of many of the skills, objectives that we're supposed to be teaching. Being able to come back to school and write about it or talk about it, I think that's a benefit too.
To support language arts objectives, the students maintained a journal during their travels.
I became a hunter and I married Harriet.
Very, very good. Now, we had romance on the trails, too. Sometimes people got married there, too. Okay, now we're going to have a spell off. How about nation?
Nation. N-A-T-I-O-N. Nation.
Very good, very good. Okay. How about windmill?
Windmill. W-I-N-D-M-I-L-L. Windmill.
Very good. Okay. Bucket.
Bucket. B-U-C-K-E-T. Bucket.
Very good. Oh.
A lot of the students really don't realize that they're getting these skills because they're having so much fun participating in the program.
Even if you don't have the luxury of field trips, your class need not miss out on exciting learning opportunities.
These are eating utensils. Has anyone ever been to Bubba's and Coy's?
Many parks provide educational materials to enhance classroom instruction.
10 dishes. These are 10 dishes.
Well, some children learn orally, some learn visually. And I find that you can increase their learning by doing visual aids.
Yes.
And if you can touch it, if you can feel it, if you can even smell it, I'm going to remember what a sugar cone is in preference to putting a word on the board.
From the West Coast to the Heartland, from the Great Lakes to the Glades, the message is loud and clear. The natural and cultural treasures of the National Park System are truly inspirational. Programs come in many forms, but there is one essential ingredient: a good working relationship with educators.
And what we're doing is related to what they've been teaching in classroom. Boy, you see the smiles on the kids' face. The kids feel smart. The kids feel like, hey, we really know what we're doing here. And the kids could say, hey, we talked about that in class. And the things I like to relate to the teachers is, hey, we can make you look good.
We've been offering programs at the Everglades since the early 70s. We work closely with the teachers, conducting workshops for them on how to conduct activities outdoors and feel comfortable about doing that when they come to the park here.
I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. And I think that's the whole background about bringing children out. When you pick up algae and you feel it, and you smell it and you touch it, you understand what it is about. To read it in a book, algae, the green substance, etc., means nothing to them. I have children who I've taught, 10 years ago, who I brought out here, who come back, who are in college, who say, do you know the only things I remember are the things I actually did? And I think if more teachers took down those walls and exposed the children, they would learn 100% more than they are.
National parks offer unparalleled opportunity for learning, whether you're young or simply young at heart.
As the population grows older and older, we want to provide interesting, exciting, challenging, enriching kinds of experiences for these folks. I think there has been a tendency in this country to say, well, I'm old, I'm over the hill, I can't learn, hang me up. I think that's something that we're combating. We want, I think that's Elder Hostel's philosophy. Heck no. This is a time to blossom and grow and get excited about new learning opportunities.
Richmond Battlefield is the site of just one of hundreds of Elder Hostel programs held in locations across the country.
Can you see the thousands of soldiers standing in battle line, preparing to meet the attacks of the Confederate soldiers? Union soldiers stretched right through where we're standing now. and they followed the creek, pretty much. Their line followed the creek around in front of the house, down here in front of us, and then stretching out 1.5 miles beyond where we are now.
During one part of the program, the group retraced the action at Cold Harbor.
It's one place to come and reflect on their sacrifices, the courage that was shown by those soldiers. These are powerful places, these fields and woods, and they still hold those images of sacrifice. I have one last letter for you. This is written again by a Texas soldier, and he's writing home. He says, "Yesterday, we was in one of the hardest fought battles ever known. I never had a clear conception of the horrors of war until last night. I could hear on all sides the dreadful groans of the wounded. I am satisfied," he said, "not to make another charge. For I hope, dear Anne, that this battle will have some influence in terminating the war. I assure you that I am heartily sick of soldiering."
He got choked up reading a letter that was very powerful, and it choked me up, and I could sense the people in the audience there. They too were moved by that. Here's something he's probably read 100 times, and yet it moved him, and it moved us. And you know, you could just see the look on these people's faces. You know, this is powerful.
Well, you can sit at home and be an armchair reader and get to know a lot of facts, but to get it out like we did today and walk over the area and have just visualize where those troops were, and to think that you were walking over sort of like hallowed ground where so many people gave up their lives.
More than just pretty places, parks such as Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area bring to life the diverse cultural legacy of our nation.
And you know what the name of the Indians we're going to learn about today? The Chumash, right, the Chumash. You guys choose Chumash names today? Okay.
Line up over here. But the Chumash call this an up. A-P, up. Can you all say that? Up. Louder. Up. This is called Satwewa. Let me hear a big Satwewa. Satwewa. All right, see that mountain over there? The Chumash believe that that's a very spiritual mountain.
I'm here with my daughter, Adriana, who is in the 4th grade. And I had no idea that we were going to be out in nature and learning so many specific things about the Chumash Indians. For example, the guide was telling us that the Chumash had lived here for 35,000 years.
Interpreters are reaching out beyond their boundaries and finding support in unexpected places. Collaboration strengthens the bond between parks and the communities that surround them.
Partnerships, I think, are really important for us to accomplish our goals. Again, parks are not isolated units. For our education program, we have donations of things like the abalone shells. We have buses that are paid for by a partnership group that pay for the schools that cannot come out and afford their own buses. A friends group, the Friends of Satwewa, who support the activities out here. They have been a great help in developing the program.
We made the holes in this shell by using a tool that the Indians used. And then we put the string around it. So this is a memento of the day that we'll treasure.
It's the kind of thing that makes you feel good because now you don't feel like it's your park. You feel like it's everybody's park. All these people participating come out and say, boy, I'm glad to see this. I like this. I feel good about it. I feel like it's part of my community.
The Imagine Yellowstone Arts Festival encourages lifelong appreciation of natural environments like Yellowstone and involvement in preserving the values that natural parks like Yellowstone represents. Tri-State Student Designs was conceived as an educational outreach project in designing and producing communication media on science topics. Each of the schools selected to design and produce exhibitry for the Yellowstone Window on the Earth project